Good evening, folks. Eclectic and Practice. I hope you've had a good Saturday so far. And this weekend, it's Columbus Day weekend or Indigenous Peoples Day. Some people call it Indigenous Peoples, others call it Columbus Day, whatever works. But um, the subject's not on that in this video. So I'm in my piano room and want to show off a little bit of the artistry in here. So like some of this wallpaper is kind of cool looking. You see the angels and kind of has that Greek mythology look. I kind of like that, or the Renaissance look is another. And then you got my late mom-in-law's piano. Excuse the clutter. We got a lot of stuff in our house we have to get through. And then you see so it's kind of have that Renaissance Greco-Roman look. And then the organ. So yeah, this video clip's not maybe has a tiny bit about the art and the Renaissance, Greek, Greco-Roman type art, but I also wanted to cover a subject called or about music. So I'm showing you this organ and the piano. It's a baby grand. So hang on, I'm going to turn the video back on myself now. Hi folks, I'm back. So today's topic is going to be about music. So in addition to the wallpaper and the ceiling and stuff, I showed the piano and the organ. So seems like time has passed and there's seems like music becomes more like classic oldies or classic rock. And I've been pondering about this for the past couple of days or so, give or take. So you've back in the 2000s, we had music for like Fall Out Boy, Pussycat Dolls, The Killers, Lady Gaga. She was more towards the latter part of that decade, if not the early part of the 2010s. Owl City, I think he was around the same time as Lady Gaga too. And Train, Matchbox 20. Matchbox 20 was probably more towards the late 90s, but I think their stuff was pretty popular in the 2000s. But there's also like Maroon 5 was another big one in the 2000s, and Train was another. I know I just mentioned them. And All American Rejects, Red Jumpsuit Apparatus was another one that I seem to remember. Danity Kane was another one. They were kind of similar to Pussycat Dolls a little bit. So, and here we are, roughly 20 to 25 years later. I'm just going, oh my gosh, where's the time gone? It's been like 20 years, and it made me think of these bands. And it's like, man, I kind of wonder if like the Gen X or Generation X is this, has similar thoughts with this, because they grew up more in like the 70s, 80s. That baby boomers, same thing. And even Gen Z might be going through this too. I mean, I know they're kind of more in the somewhere in the mid 20s. Age wise, I could be wrong on that, but kind of makes me think of that. Oh, and if anybody's wondering, I'm a millennial. But and even I wonder if other millennials are thinking this, and that's not just me, but other millennials have this in their mind also. Go, wow, 20 years ago, Pussycat Dolls was out, and here we are 20 years later, and it seems like it's only a matter of time before their music becomes, like classic oldies and stuff. Should be interesting to see that, as we go forward and future and younger generations with the music that they're growing up on, and it's kind of cool actually. And then I've also pondered about the music when I was growing up in the 80s. I was born in 81, so music from that time, I'm sure people that listen to a lot of NXS or Duran Duran, for example, I'm sure they're gonna it's like, yeah, it seems like a lot of times go by fast, and seems like they're even their music's becoming a bit more on the classic oldies or side or whatever you want to call it. And REM, Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots. I mean, any of that music from the 80s and 90s, even, or even earlier than 1980s. You got Bad Company. There's other stuff too, but Bad Company comes to mind, and Eagles is another one. So, and then they're already considered classic rock. Cool music, by the way. I know I've been more into the punk stuff, but Classic rock is awesome. I mean, all kinds of music for the most part is awesome in their own way. I am not a fan of country though, but I respect those that are into that. And there's some good hits in Spite, but I'm kind of more into like the rock stuff, especially punk in general. But all kinds of music is pretty cool, and and it's just they all have their time. They're all going to be timeless classics if they're not there already, and that's not a bad thing. It's just pondering on that lately, and just it's weird, but it's kind of cool at the same time. And should be interesting to see going forward. As they become more and more classic, I guess, and for lack of better terms. So, guess we'll see what time brings. And I'd also be interested in hearing everybody else's comments, those who see this video, and would be interested in your input. Just nothing hateful, please. But that's it for the day. I hope you like this video clip, and don't forget to click like, subscribe, and share. And hope you guys enjoyed seeing the piano and the organ and the sitting room down here a little bit. Yeah, I thought it'd be cool for a change of scenery. I'd do it outside, but it's a little too cold, not to mention too dark. And there's a lot going upstairs. My husband's been watching YouTube videos and hanging out and stuff, and I didn't want to disturb him. So, so I figure I'd have a little change of scenery down here. So, well, that's it, folks. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, and have a good evening and take care. Click like, subscribe, and share also if you want. Take care. Bye bye.